Hey guys, so today is the day that we change out the Tslim site. So first we're going to show you how we get this started. We're going to do this on the Tslim. We're going to go to options, and then we're going to go to load, and then change cartridge. So it's basically going to tell you step by step on how to do it. There is a pamphlet on how to. So in order to change it, it's letting us know that all deliveries are stopped. We're going to hit yes to continue. Everything has been stopped. So now we can disconnect. Go ahead and disconnect.
Okay.
So we let her do this because when she takes part, then we have less fuss. There you go. Good job. Once it's disconnected, we're going to hit next. And it's going to prepare for us to get the cartridge off. So she's going to slide that off, and then we're going to work on removing the site itself. So what we do is we will use the Unisolve, and then I use an oil. So this is her go-to. Helps with the healing process. Okay, so what we'll do is we will dab it around to see how it's absorbing on the adhesive. So we just get this all the way around.
That's not my favorite smell.
I know it's not your favorite smell. And that's why we use the oil.
I like that smell.
You like that one?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to spray it 2 times. And then what do?
Rub it.
We rub it. And we just go around a couple times and it'll start coming off by itself. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it hurt when we do that?
Mm-hmm.
No? So what I do is I make sure that this little part starts peeling. And then we'll go around with the Unisolve again. Just got this stuff on the bed.
Ew.
I know. Just making sure it's all soaked, okay?
Ew.
Okay. And we're just going to let that sit for a minute because it helps with the removing process. So while we're waiting on that, what we usually do is we will start working on getting the cartridge off. Mm-hmm. So you push it.
Push.
That part is a little hard. Okay. Now you're going to go back to the screen and it'll show that we've removed it. At this point, once you have a filled cartridge, you're going to put it back on and then you're ready for the next step. Are you going to do it by yourself?
No, don't peel it off yet.
I'm not peeling it. You were the one peeling it.
No.
See, look, I'm just going around in a circle. It's been sitting on your leg for a few moments. All done.
I got it out.
You did. Look at that.
I got it out by myself.
Yay, good job.
Mom, this.
Okay, so we have the Tslim charging, which doesn't take very long. And so what we do is we pull out the supplies. This is the old cartridge, new cartridge, pen, and then the syringe. So you'll make sure that that clicks on. And then to make sure that we're not letting go of insulin too soon, we take out the insulin that's still left in the cartridge, because she usually uses about half of what we put in there. So we pull back. That's good. You see all those bubbles? So we make sure all the bubbles are almost completely out, and then we push it up till you see some of the insulin come out. And then we will use the pen that we're currently using. Wipe it with the alcohol swab. Then we insert the syringe. And then we pull back to the amount of units that you're going to want. Ours is at 1, so we pull back all the way to the 1. Looks like it, right? Mm-hmm. So we do tend to go through pens a little bit quicker with the pump, but it evens out. So now we're going to open the new cartridge. And then you'll wipe that little white spot is where you are going to insert the syringe. And what you do is you put it in, and then you're going to pull back trying to get all the air out of the little pocket that's inside the cartridge. That's good. And the reason why you don't want air bubbles in there is because if there's air bubbles inside the cartridge when it's going through the line, that means you won't get the proper amount of insulin. So we stand it straight up, and then you push in. Okay. And then she's going to be ready for it to be inserted. 1 second. Tubing. Mm-hmm. Okay, machine is charged, and now we're going to put the new cartridge in.
Dinky do.
Shh, you're on video. Okay.
Dinky do.
So now it's going to detect the new cartridge. I'll give it just a few moments. And it'll go to 100%. And then it's going to give you the next step. You didn't say what the next step was. So basically the next step was asking you to start filling the tube, which we're not ready yet because we haven't connected it. So this is the Auto Soft, and it's the 90-degree. Okay. So this is one of the parts where she helps us with, because Miss Smarty Pants just knows it all, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. What's next?
Take the peel.
Now you gotta take the peel off. Good job. Thank you. Now the other part.
Okay, Mama.
I'm gonna pop that off. You need help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On its side.
Hold on, we're gonna get help. we'll take out the tubing. And then there's this little notches on the edge of the plastic here. So you'll just set it right there in the notch. So that way when you're doing the insertion, it stays in place.
Toe jam. Toe jam.
We're still recording, silly. So we're connecting the tubing to the device. And now we're going to start filling the tubing. So it's really hard to see it going through the tubing, but you'll see it pop out here in a second.
Way.
Yes, we're waiting for it to fill up, okay? So for us, the tubing usually gets full about 10 units. So for us, once we see a few drops coming out of the needle, we'll hit stop. Right about there. Do you see it?
Not yet. There it goes. Yep.
So there's the droplet. We hit stop on the machine. And then the next part, it's going to ask you, it's going to let you know what you do.
So that's if you see a few drops at the end, then go ahead and hit done. If not, tap fill. Since we already have that drop right there, we'll hit done. And we are done
And we
loading.
have our reminder set for every 3 days. So we are done loading. Once you hit done, and then it's going to ask you if you want to resume your insulin now. Right now we don't want to because we still have to insert it. Okay, so we're back to the home screen, and now we're going to do the insertion. So what you see here are a couple marks from where she's had it a couple of times. We're just going to have this turn to your side. Okay. There you go. So what we do is we just kind of raise the skin up a little bit. You want to do it where it's nice and fatty tissue. So the way that this is angled,
You gotta take off the...
it kind of gives you a guide. So she's going to take off the little plastic part.
This way.
And pull it this way.
There you go.
And do it nice and slowly, right? Because if we do it too fast, what happens?
It peels off.
And then it takes the needle off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we take off the little plastic covering for the needle.
Oh no! Oh no! Ah!
I don't know why you rip it. Okay, so now what we do, you see how this is put in the notch. Back here, you're going to pull back until you hear the click. There's an arrow here, so it shows you the guide of where your tubing is going to go. You always want that kind of straight, so that way it doesn't kink. These two notches are so that way it releases. Give me 1 second. Ready? You're not ready? Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
There we go. Boop. All done. And then we just rub it around 3 times to make sure that it adheres to the skin. You can breathe now. Okay, so it's already inserted. We do 1, 2, 3 on the screen. It's going to ask if you want to resume. We're going to resume. Right now she doesn't have any insulin on board. Once it starts, I give it about 30 minutes for her numbers to start tracking down. But that's it. That's how we do the change.